Episode 153, No Brains, No Headache podcast. New style, new era. We're just jumping right into it. We're recording here in the Dugout studio. I'm here with my co-host, Matt. I'm Jordan Weichel. Matt, I call you Ongo sometimes. So, Ongo, how are you?
I'm doing good. So, we used to do this thing where, without a doubt, we would never record on like a Saturday or a Sunday just because we knew ourselves. But now that we've been doing it a little bit, I almost like it.
Yes, we are recording on Saturday, April 29th. However, this episode not out until May 2nd. So, happy May 2023 to everybody out there. Recording on a Saturday is a little bit different for us, but definitely something we need to do. And that actually reminds me, in a couple weeks, we're going to be out of town. Give our listeners a fair warning. That following week, there won't be an episode. Just going to let you know right now, but No Brains, No Headache podcast. This is the Cleary's Comments portion of the show. This is where you and I, we verbally spar. We have a bout. A bout. I'm trying to say bout, and it's sounding like about. Like about as in a fight. B-O-U-T.
Yeah, I
Is that
think
a word? We're having a real Road limit situation.
a bot.
Dude, I don't know, man.
This is why the English language sucks.
Kind of had a late one last night. I slept in today, the latest I have ever slept in, probably, 7 years. Like, it was pretty impressive when I texted you. I was like, holy shit, I just woke up.
I mean, some of those, like you said, like this morning, like your body wakes up at like no later than 8.
Yeah.
I used to be in this rhythm where I'd basically work like either 2 to 10 or 4 to midnight when I was working at a golf course and a hockey rink. And so like my schedule was like I would go to bed at like 3 or 4 a.m. and I would wake up like past noon every day. Like just the worst person of all time. And I'd be like, no one wants to do anything. It's like, well, you'd have a shitty schedule, so.
Depends on where you're at in life. Just like if you're a college student or if you're just, you're just a person who's just, they got your shit together. And it's like, I don't got to be up in the morning. I couldn't stay up late if I want to.
That's why they call it the weekend.
Yeah, exactly. You do whatever you want. But for me, it's like, we live in North Dakota. We have this gnarly weather in the wintertime especially. And we had just a terrible winter. Just absolutely got pounded by snow and very cold temperatures, and just it didn't really make for conducive outdoor activities. And I'm a big outdoors guy. I like to be outdoors. I like to go walk, hike. I want to go camping a lot this summer. And that really takes a toll. So like now that it's getting nice out, the sun's out longer, it's almost hard for me to just lay around like a goddamn beached whale and not do anything. So I'm like, oh, it's nice out. I got to go. However, I did notice the North Dakota wind doesn't take any days off. Beautiful day out if you're okay with about 35 mile an hour winds in the face.
I mean, it's one of those where I go out golfing and it's like this windy out. And I get done and I don't know if it's sunburn or windburn, but my face hurts so much.
You blew it! It's one of those situations where, like maybe you're a person like me who doesn't golf very often. It's maybe 2 to 5, a mittful every summer. And of course, like your luck, it's like, it's the early season day that's like 45 degrees and cold. And then later in the summer when you decide to go again, there's a hurricane-esque wind.
Honestly, I don't know what to do with myself when I get a good day of golfing. If it's a nice weather to golf, I'm probably not going to be on the golf course.
What are you doing? Laying on the couch in the dark basement?
Yeah, I really need to hone in my so people have like lights to keep themselves happy, like sunlights.
We have one in the studio.
I need like an opposite of that.
You need darkness.
Yeah.
Your body craves darkness.
Like Voldemort.
Does it have anything to do with your skin not being able to take the sun very well? And I'm not over here saying I'm a Pacific Islander. Okay, I'm a white German.
It's better than being a white Irishman, that's for sure.
Are there black Irishmen?
I don't think so. There are some black Irishmen, but I don't know like how far back their lineage to Ireland goes.
We ought to take a look, maybe.
Yeah, I never got that far into Ancestry.com. I basically got as far until they made me pay money, and then I was like, for that reason, I'm out.
Episode 153 here in the Dugout Studio. Having a good time. It's kind of crazy, 153 episodes. Jesus Christ. Quick announcement. 3-year anniversary party coming up May 19th. It's going to be here in Bismarck, so that's more for the locals, but you can still help us celebrate if you're not around. 3 years coming up in just a couple of weeks, May 19th, down at the Tiki Bar that we have been known to regulate. So, yeah, check that out. It's exciting stuff coming up. It's crazy as you get to a certain point of doing this. It's almost second nature. The few weeks we have taken off, it has been a little weird. So it's like I feel like something's missing in my life.
For sure.
This is the longest. I've never held a job longer than this. I haven't had a relationship anywhere close to this.
Nope.
This is the longest thing I've ever done in my life.
It's the most consistent thing other than like having a dog, maybe.
And I don't know if that statement I just made a second ago is extremely depressing or...
let's move past that.
Yes, we should. I'm going to talk about my quick opening chatter because I think yours deserves a little bit more focus. I have been overusing the cowboy emoji via texting, messaging entirely too much. And I just think it's a phase. Like, everybody has maybe an emo phase, perhaps. I think this is just a phase. However, if I've been texting you recently and you haven't received a cowboy emoji from me, I would be concerned.
I mean, the far and away, the laughing face is my biggest. Other than that, like, literally, I usually get, like, on one of an emoji that I use, but other than that, it's like laughing face. I'm a basic bitch.
Yeah, I'm on a big cowboy emoji kick right now. Summer's coming up, rodeos are going to start up again. I have a feeling Cowboy Gordon's going to be out a lot this summer. I just have this gut feeling after the wrestling match when I put together perhaps the best outfit in the history of amateur wrestling. I feel great about it. Nothing like taking a blazer from a wedding that you were in, coupling it with some George Strait blue Wranglers, some dirty old cowboy boots, a bolo tie, a shirt that you got for free from Boot Barn because their system wasn't working right, and a below-average cowboy hat. That is probably a dead giveaway that I'm not an actual cowboy.
I mean, your outfit kind of knocked mine out of the park. I wore jorts and then like a t-shirt, gold chain, and then I had this green sport coat.
Mm-hmm.
And I learned pretty quickly that I was pitting out through the sport coat, so I had to take that off for a while.
Yes, you like as friend to friend here, Matt. I feel like you should get not only your digestion figured out, but also your sweat glands in your left armpit, to be specific.
It's bad.
Righty
doesn't do it that much, but
yeah, your left is it is a reason and a spot of concern.
Quit looking at it. It makes it sweat more. Yeah, I looked into getting Botox for it, but it's really expensive.
Botox in your pits?
Yeah, it just basically kills your sweat glands.
Yeah, I've heard of that. Or what about people who like don't sweat very much? I remember a guy like back in high school, just a great athlete, hardly ever sweat.
I think, yeah, I would sweat less if I wasn't just a world-class piece of shit.
Okay.
If I did some sort of physical activity.
Just like a regional class piece of shit?
Yeah.
Local class piece of shit?
As the scale of, if I was a city, comparing it to my piece of shitness, I would be like a Bakersfield, California.
Okay. I was thinking like a Cleveland. Is that no good?
What's your problem?
Okay. Speaking of Cleveland, I'm sure they made a draft pick, and the NFL draft was underway this past weekend. And I mean, personally, I only give a shit about the first round, and we did our gambling on it. Matt, you are a NFL draft whiz, man.
I got a couple later on that I got like a couple like wide receiver picks, I think specifically right, but literally the first like top 10 picks you usually get like 4 to 7 right, but I was getting some good picks towards the end. But A lot of kind of like weird trades that every year I was like, I know it's going to surprise me, but it still surprises me. Your Vikes.
Well, hold on. Let's pump the brakes there, Matt. Let's not take away the fact that your favorite team, the Carolina Panthers, had the number 1 overall pick. I mean, as a football fan, that's got to be exciting.
I mean, it was pretty nerve-wracking. Like I said to you before the draft, like I'm nervous. And then they made the pick I wanted. We got Bryce Young. We got our quarterback of the future. Now, as long as we have, I don't know, anyone to throw the ball to, we'll be doing okay.
Well, yeah, they got Bryce Young, quarterback of the future, Alabama guy. So the Panthers, they traded with the Bears to get the number 1 overall pick, went with your boy Bryce. And then just looking a little bit beyond that, the Texans were up next. And then the Texans did the most ridiculous move ever. They also took the 3rd pick overall. So they just had the number 2, number 3 overall pick.
Yeah, that was kind of weird when they're like, there's a trade. The Texans were like the last team I thought was going to show up.
So I'm looking on CBS Sports here, and I'll vouch for their app. I would recommend it to all of our listeners out there, as opposed to ESPN, a bunch of cocksuckers. CBS Sports here, they have these grades, and I think you can kind of see it from where you're sitting. Explain to me, Matt, how the first 6 picks are all B's or B minus.
Because no one knows what's going to happen. That's good value there. Okay, well, you're supposed to go number 1. The guy who was supposed to go number 2
wasn't Bryce Young supposed to go number 1, and the Panthers were granted a B minus.
Yeah, because no one knows what's going to happen. It's like if you would have got a guy that was like a for sure top 10 pick in the 2nd round, Joey Porter Jr., I bet they got an A.
Let me check really quick. A plus.
Yeah. And I think that's like literally the only A plus.
I think they're just these grades are stupid. They're just like, okay, I'm the CBS draft analyst. I disagree with the pick. B minus.
Like when Patrick Mahomes was picked, I think it was like C minus, and it said not a need.
Right to jail.
Not a need for the Chiefs. No need to trade up. And it's like, okay, what do you know?
Right to jail.
That's what I think of. And then, as the evening went on, I got very confused in the draft after about the 13th pick. Also, I will say this. The NFL draft and the hysteria and the hype and everything behind it, I get it. It's a very smart thing for the NFL to do. A huge moneymaker, great media ploy, a great way to just get introduced to the future stars of the league. However, the NFL draft is so fucking boring.
Yep. There's nothing in between the picks. It's literally just like a montage of...
It was, the first round happens on a Thursday, which is actually normally a pretty big, drinking day for us.
Yep.
Usually the schedule says drinks or comedy or something of that. And instead we had the draft, and dude, it was just dragging on. I was losing my mind. I could only last until the Vikings pick at 23, and then I was done.
Yeah, so there was like 8 picks left, and it was like 10-20.
I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say that I have a for sure bedtime. However,
it's 10:30.
Jordy gets sleepy. Okay? Especially I've been waking up early, hitting the gym recently. No, I've just been working out, going for extended walks. Sometimes I even speed up to the point of running, which is weird. It's weird when you're walking and then you're running, but I've been waking up a little bit earlier to get that out of the way before the day. If I'm watching a draft for 3 hours and it's just commercial after Make-A-Wish Foundation, after commercial, after Cancer Kid, after commercial, after Asian person, I can't take it anymore. This is like watching the first episode of Survivor on CBS where they're just like, okay, we have to explain everybody's shitty situation in life and how they were oppressed at some point.
It's the pageantry of it does suck. It's like, do I need to see Dude Perfect announce the Eagles' 30th overall pick? No.
Is that what they did?
Yes.
You know what, Matt? Let's move on. Jesus Christ. NFL draft, that's behind us. I guess we'll see Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, Anthony Richardson, Will Levis, all the first 4 quarterbacks that went off. The most exciting picks, Bijan Robinson and Jahmyr Gibbs, maybe some other exciting picks, just because there's the skill positions. We'll see how it works out. There's 4 wide receivers that went in a row. I don't know. I'm not going to deep dive too deep into it. This is No Brains, No Headache podcast, All right? If you're taking our sports take, not with a grain of salt, boy, do you have issues. Quick question, Matt. $2 million is all of a sudden in your bank account. What are you doing?
Pulling it all out because there was probably some error in the banking system, so I'm going to try to get that all out of my bank account so that they can't so they can't take it away from me. I mean, this did actually happen with a guy. He went to the ATM and pulled out some money, and it said that he had like $20 million, and it was he had like 20,000, but it said like 20 million, and he never told the bank or anything. He just kept pulling money out.
Smart.
For years.
Very smart man.
And he did it for years, and then eventually he had to pay the bank back somehow for their mistake. Like, he had to pay him back like $7 million. But he could only take out a certain amount at a time, so like 3 times a week he was going and taking out $400, and he was just doing that like consistently, and then like every like couple months he would just buy something with cash. But if I had $2 million, I wouldn't live in my house right now. I would probably move
to another house.
Yeah.
Here's my thought on houses. Well, while we're on the subject, we're both single bachelors, and I know you have a roommate and some pets and stuff. But I've always thought about, like, if I bought a house, what would I do with it? I would use 1 bedroom, a living room, the kitchen, and perhaps the garage, as the Canadians say. Why would I buy a house? Now, a real estate agent is going to come at me and give me all these reasons and shine my balls. You
get equity in it, but then you also have the other side of it where it's like,
where you have to mow your lawn, or in Matt's case, you opt not to.
You don't water it, so it doesn't grow.
You're lucky. The drought helped you out big time. Anytime, if there's not moisture falling from the sky, you're not going to have to mow your lawn, which has been your strategy for a few years now.
It's going on a decade.
But I saw this on Twitter the other day. I thought it was really interesting. Just a random tweet. $2 million is in your bank account. What are you doing? So I'll maybe take it as you're at the gas station one day. I'm going to buy a lottery ticket just for shits and gigs. See what happens. I got a few extra bucks. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling lucky. And then you do win. And let's just say in this case, it is a $2 million paycheck coming your way. I also went down a rabbit hole of this. There's all sorts of things you're supposed to do if this were to happen. And according to Forbes, this article is a little bit dated, but they went back and updated a little bit back in 2016. What you're supposed to do, thank you, is remain anonymous. If you can do that. And I think that's actually really smart.
How anonymous? So you're not telling your family and friends?
I think in this instance of remaining anonymous, of like, okay, we're not doing this whole marketing stunt, publicity stuff. Like, I
will say the only thing that sucks about that is I would love to get a big check sometime.
Yeah, like an actually physically big check
with my name on it.
Yeah,
and like,
well, you could do that. You have $2 million in your.
Maybe I just do. You know what? I'm gonna see how much a big check costs, and I'm just gonna get it and put it up on the wall.
Well, like what you could do is, since now you have $2 million, give or take, which we'll get into in a minute here. What you could do is to just kind of throw your own little party, and then you can hire people to like make this whole theatric production and like make you look super cool, and have like a few maybe smoking hot models.
My Super Sweet 16 style.
I don't know what that is. Oh wait, is that the TV show where they
just a bunch of rich kids?
Oh, and their 16th birthday.
Yeah, it's like everyone gets a Honda Accord for showing up to the party.
Yeah. Well, in that case, yeah, you can do whatever you want, but you could do that where it's like, okay, we're just going to have a little party to... At that point, though, you are no longer remaining anonymous. So I would say remaining anonymous, just not out to the general public. If in my case, if I were to come across something like this, obviously I'm going to tell my family and my friends probably. And probably the listeners of the podcast. Hey, fuckers, last episode.
See you fuckers in hell. I did call you a jive turkey.
I don't think that, like, as bad as it sounds, I'm not sure. Actually, I mean, I hope I would still be able to want to do things like such as the podcast if all of a sudden that changed. Because you're not supposed to do drastic lifestyle changes. According to Forbes, you're also supposed to see a tax pro before you cash your winning lottery ticket. How does that work? Like, what if you're in the gas station, like, doing, like, a scratch-off or something? Or wait. No, if it's a lottery, they'll announce it, like, at a later date. So you're not finding out immediately. Okay, that makes sense.
Scratch-offs, I think, like, the most I've seen, like, one on a scratch-off is, like, 100,000.
And honestly, this is very Midwestern of me. My mind immediately went to poll tabs, where it's like, well, I'm going to cash it in right away. What are you talking? I don't have time to call my tax pro. He's drunk. You're supposed to avoid sudden lifestyle changes. I think everybody in the whole world has heard that classic horror story or, you know, that tragedy story where it's like, yeah, these people won the lottery and just huge cocaine addiction or ended up murdering 7 people or just like, it's like, okay, what?
Yeah, there's a lot of horror stories out there about lottery winners and them just going off the deep end. I mean, watch the show Lost.
You're supposed to pay off all your debts, according to Forbes. And I guess I could do that. It would be pennies on the dollar if it's $2 million in this instance. I don't have very much debt.
Yeah,
I could pay that off pretty quickly. You're supposed to assemble a team of legal and financial advisors.
I feel like that would be financially detrimental at some point. If you're hiring a team,
you're supposed to handpick your own lawyer, accountant, and investment advisor and require them to work together.
If I have $2 million, I'm guessing a lawyer makes quite a bit.
You're also not supposed to tell them what it's for, really, if you can help it, until after the vetting process.
You're almost getting like a think tank together.
I mean, I like to think it come from a good area here in Bismarck, North Dakota. North Dakota nice. We say it all the time. I would hope in a situation like this, I could find somebody who would have my best interest. And it's like, yes, I'm obviously going to pay you for your time and effort. However, don't inflate your prices by 250%. That would be great. You're supposed to invest prudently and live within a budget. I think that's just general practices.
I think it's almost like just do what you're doing now, but pay off your debt.
But let's talk about fun stuff. What are you buying for yourself? Treating yourself a little bit. What are you gonna get?
A golf cart.
Are you gonna go golfing, or are you just having a golf cart just for fun?
I would buy like a golf pass at a nice course, and then I would want to buy a house out by that course, and then I would just like golf.
Just golf all the time?
Yeah.
What about in the winter?
Winter, I'd also buy a house down in Arizona with a pool, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, nothing spicy.
There you go. I think what I need to do is, and given the time of the year headed into summer 2K23, I'm probably going to buy, that'd be 2023.
Okay, yeah, just broke my mind for a little bit.
Probably immediately I'm going to buy a really nice vehicle. Just something safe, something new. I've never really had a new vehicle in my life. The truck that I'm actually receiving might be the finest piece of equipment I've ever driven in my life. So really looking forward to that. We'll definitely be posting a picture of my new whip. So check out our social media at NBNH Podcast. Wherever you like to go on your socials, check it out there. And then what I'm also going to do, because we're heading into summer 2K23, and I need to buy some sort of watercraft. I'm thinking a tri-tune. It's a pontoon with 3 pontoons. Matt,
oh, okay.
Matt, are you? 2K23. I know it's No Brains, No Headache podcast, but your cognitive level is a little bit concerning. I'm supposed to be the pothead of the crew, and you're acting like it.
2K23 was a lot to throw at me, and I'm not a watercraft guy.
A tri-toon. It's just it's like a mega pontoon. So I think I got to get that just because, if I have all this money in a bank account and I'm seeing all my friends out on the river and I'm like, why am I not on the river? It'd be like, you have the power to do so. So I think I got to do that. And then also, I'm going to charter a private jet, and I'm going to have a guest list of about like 15 to 20 people. Must RSVP. No exceptions. I'm probably going to turn into a huge cocksucker. Huge asshole, where it's like...
That's different?
A cocksucker and an asshole?
No, you aren't a huge asshole right now?
I'm always an asshole. I'm not a huge pushover like you, but I'm an asshole. So I like to stand up for myself because the world can be mean. So if you don't stand up for yourself, you're going to get walked all over, and that comes off as being an asshole. I'm actually a really nice guy. I'll really do anything for anybody if they ask, but you just got to ask. I ain't just going to go out of my way to do it. You got to ask.
So 15 to 20 people.
15 to 20 people must RSVP. And I'm just saying I would be like, if somebody's like, oh, no, can the flight be at this time? I'm going to be like, no, motherfucker. Like this, no, I'm paying for everything. Like you will, if you want to enjoy this trip, you will do as the itinerary says.
Got a dental appointment. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. So, and I think, I don't even know where I'm going to go. Not Vegas. I'm not on the Vegas train lately. I'm not a fan.
I think what would be cool is like doing one of those like houses you rent on the beach in Florida for like a week, and then it comes with like a private like butler and like fully they get
Florida's
you all
basic. I'm thinking maybe like South Carolina. Like just do something different. But like Nashville's basic, but like something different, but obviously make it a metro area where it's like, okay, dude, like there's this concert we're going to go check out this sports game, we're going to party, we're going to have a good time. So those are my first few things I would do. Buy a nice vehicle, get some sort of water toy for the summer, and then take a sweet trip with a bunch of friends.
I mean, $2 million is a lot of money if you think about it, because if you do that, you're probably only at like nice vehicle, paying off your debt, trip. What was the other one?
Water toy.
You're probably at like, what, $250K?
Well, yeah, that's just right away. Yeah. You don't want to get too carried away.
It's like, I won $2 million and I'm also in $2 million of debt.
I mean, if you have a hefty drug and or gambling addiction, I could see that happening. Matt, we better move on. We've got a time crunch here. $2 million. We'll see if it happens. We'll let you know. Yeah.
But maybe not. It might stay a little anonymous.
We just win $2 million, and every 5 seconds on the podcast, all you hear is...
Sports video games bracket came out. It reads as this. I'll run through it really quick, and then I want to get your answer, Jordan. Number 1 seed, NFL 2K5 versus Wii Sports.
2K5? What's that?
I think Wii Sports wins that one. MVP Baseball 2005, NHL 94. I like NHL 94 because that's the only one I played. Super Mario Strikers, Rocket League. I hate both. Backyard Baseball versus NFL Blitz.
Ooh, it's tough.
That's a tough matchup. NCAA Football 2014 versus Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2.
Pretty good matchup.
NFL Street 2 versus NBA 2K11.
So what's 2K11?
The 2K is coming up a lot. Tech Mobile versus Madden NFL 2005. NBA Jam versus FIFA 13.
You are aware that the 2K has been in play for 23 years now.
Yeah, I know. It's just kind of 2K23 didn't roll off the tongue like 2K5 does.
If anything, it's better. All right. NFL 2K5 versus Wii Sports. It's the 1 versus 16 seed. I'm very biased. I'm predicting a huge upset here. Wii Sports over NFL 2K5. I've never played it.
Yep.
Next one I would probably say MVP baseball because I did play that one. NHL 94. I wasn't huge into video games at the age of 1, so that's that one. What's Super Mario Strikers?
It's like an N64 game where you play soccer, I believe, or GameCube or something.
And Rocket League, is that where you have the cars and you hit the ball and stuff?
I tried to play that once and just got my shit worked by like 11-year-olds.
It is a difficult one. I guess I'd go with Rocket League. Matchup of the century is coming up here. Backyard baseball versus NFL Blitz. Oh, man. That one's so tough. I'm personally a backyard football fan a little bit more, but baseball it's just classic.
I think the gameplay, I will say, was kind of on equal levels, although they're very different. I'll take backyard baseball because of the season aspect of it.
That's true. I mean, NFL Blitz is
it's a one-off game. It's super fun to just play like one game and you're done. You're not gonna like sit down and be like, yeah, my NFL Blitz season was nuts.
Yes, you're right. I could play backyard baseball probably all day given the opportunity. We'll go with that one. NCAA football 14 versus Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2, the 6 versus 11 seed in this bracket. I actually did play Tony Hawk's Pro Skater games. They're a lot of fun, especially when you can just go on like the free range and just go do whatever you want. Make your own park. Yes, that was fun. However, I'm a sports fan. I love NCAA football. Me and you play for, is that the one we play?
Yeah, that's the one we play.
We play NCAA 14 all the time. I got to go with that. I feel like these rankings are all fucked up.
Yeah.
Like NFL Blitz shouldn't be a 13 seed. Wii Sports maybe just a little higher. NFL Street 2 as the 3 seed versus the 14 seed. NBA 2011.
Yep.
We'll just take the K out of the equation.
Have you played NFL Street?
I remember playing it like a really long time ago. It's pretty much like a newer Blitz.
Yeah, kind of is. But like you get to like draft your team. So like you pick the Dolphins and then like you take 6 players and like there's like 10 players or something. But like you play both ways. So like you obviously take the quarterback, but he also has to play free safety. So it's like you got Peyton Manning out there just getting blown up.
I love it. Nobody wins that matchup. The Tecmo Bowl versus Madden NFL 2005. What the fuck's the Tecmo Bowl?
It came out for Sega or the original Nintendo, and Bo Jackson was like a cheat code. Like no one could touch him. It's very like pixelated. Yes. Madden 2005, probably my favorite Madden of all time. They had that rushing attack game where you had like you'd go against 2 defenders and like they would give you like certain ones. And it had a dynamite soundtrack.
Soundtrack?
Soundtrack?
I'd go Madden NFL 2005. NBA Jam versus FIFA 13. I'm not the biggest soccer fan. I don't have anything against their video game. I would just go with NBA Jam. And I would say...
Like, Final Four to me is backyard baseball versus Wii Sports, NCAA football versus Madden 2005.
NBA Jam brings back a lot of nostalgia for me. Back when basketball
was fun
and better. So that's what I'm thinking. Maybe NBA Jam is in the Final Four.
I could get on board with that.
They're taking on NCAA football 14. Yeah, I mean, Wii Sports as a 16 seed
is wild because you get 5 sports plus all the mini games,
and it's just it's a Wii. It's way more interactive. We would like to play, as the Asians say,
and you could turn like any drinking game out of any sport. You could play a drinking game.
Yeah, the other day I was playing Wii bowling and simultaneously just having a full-on, like, in-depth conversation. Dominated. Won. It was the 10th frame, and I think I got a turkey to finish it out, and it was just like...
And then you go real bowling, and it's nothing like Wii bowling.
Real bowling, my ass always hurts.
Oh, yeah.
the gluteus maximus is in this son of a gun. They just get sore. I don't know why. I mean, I do know why, because I'm using muscles I rarely use when bowling, trying to get that nice follow through with. I'm like that pussy who uses like a 12-pound ball, because I'm just like, you know what, I need to get some speed behind this sucker.
Well, I like the old bowling alley I used to go to because the 6-pound or 8-pound ball was green, and now they made it pink, so everyone knows you're using it. When it used to be a little green, I'd be like, okay, no one really knows what I'm doing here. They figured it out.
So Wii Sports taking on backyard baseball.
It's tough.
So mine would be Wii Sports, backyard baseball, NCAA football 14, NBA Jam. Moving on would probably have to be like Wii Sports is just a Cinderella as a 16 seed. Also, so this is, what is this? FanDuel came up with this ultimate bracket.
I think we could do a better bracket.
The bracket's fucked up in the first place, Matt. Like
I think we make our own bracket and then we come back and revisit this.
And I get it. It's just like obviously sports focused video games, or that's the theme. But the rankings are all messed up, and I feel like we could have had maybe some other games in here, like NHL 09.
Yeah,
I think that was a huge
09,
resurgence.
10, and 11 were like, I played those religiously.
I think because they simultaneously came out with like the Xbox 360 or something like that. So everybody was just playing it. Like I played it. I remember one time after, the late night hours after a party one night, I was sitting there playing NHL, and I looked at my buddy next to me and I was like, hey, yeah, we should alternate every goal in, like, we were playing, whatever level, so you could just score like 12 goals in a game. My friend next to me was so drunk he was just passed out. So I would play and I would score, and then I'd wake him up and be like, hey, you're up. And then he would go down the ice and score and just hand the controller back to me and just go back to bed. Did that about 5 or 6
I thought
times.
you were going to say, like, he was just passed out, you would score, and you'd put it in front of him until, like, you got scored on, and then you'd take the controller back.
Or he thinks he's playing, and you can just see his skaters just crammed in the corner just because he's on the stick. I will go with NCAA Football 14 as my champion.
I would say I would do that as well. But I think the big three are Wii Sports, Backyard Baseball, and NCAA Football 14.
We would like to play.
I think we could have like an actual legit bracket of more of what we would like. But there's an animal that I didn't know I was scared of. I just want to touch on this very quickly. A ranking of the top 10 most dangerous animal came out. And you are 40 times more likely to die from a freshwater snail than you are a hippo.
Wow. What's with the freshwater snail?
I
Why
don't
is it
know.
so deadly?
I don't know.
You didn't look it up? Do I need to look it up?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about snails.
Why is it so deadly?
I don't know. It's like, I get it, like mosquitoes kills 1 million people a year, snakes 100,000, dogs 30,000 people a year die from dogs. Freshwater snails 20,000.
The second Google search that comes up is freshwater snails deadly. Oh god, here we go. Schistosomiasis is a disease caused by a parasitic worm that lives in certain types of freshwater snails. The parasite leaves the snail and enters the water, where it can enter a person's body through the skin when a person wades or swims in contaminated fresh water.
I'm never going in water again.
I think I had a stroke. Schistosomiasis.
Stick
it to the moniosis.
All right, that was a good episode.
It's a rare blood disease. So that's why freshwater snails are so deadly. What else is on the list?
We have, so dogs kill 30,000 people at number 3.
Really?
Yeah.
Where?
Probably, I don't know, Africa. You just get drug off by a pack of wild dogs.
I mean, I'm not the type of person that, you see a dog and you're like, oh, I have to pet it. But I do enjoy dogs, and I will generally be friendly with them, given the interaction. Thank you. I haven't even been bit by a dog in a very long time.
At the lake.
Kid, that was an accident. That was...
Assassin bugs at number 5, which just sounds sweet, and then like a fly, tsetse flies, and then like roundworms and tapeworms are up there, and then crocodiles and hippos. If you think of an animal killing someone, I'm betting 9 out of 10 people go to sharks.
My first... If you said, hey, Jordan, give me some of the most deadliest, creatures in the world, I would probably say snakes, sharks, bears, rip your face off. Let's see, hippos. Hippos are very dangerous. Yeah. Alligators, crocodiles.
Alligators are like one of the cat families.
Like lions.
Lions, tigers.
Yes. Assassin bugs are known to stalk their targets using stealthy moves.
Just makes me scared.
Once they pounce on their prey, they stab them and release a paralyzing toxin that overcomes and kills the victim. So watch out for assassin bugs. It's quite the name.
Yeah, I was just kind of intrigued by that. I mean, I knew mosquitoes was going to be at the top of that list because that's like the one that they always try to get you at trivia. They're like, what's the most deadly animal in the world? And everyone always says like sharks or hippos.
Big trivia guy?
I like trivia. I don't like to do it often though.
Yeah, trivia is okay every once in a while. You gotta watch out for it. Make sure. What's your most scary animal on that list?
I would say hippos are pretty terrifying. But I also love watching them eat at zoos.
Yeah, well, just imagine that watermelon is your head.
Yeah. And hippos can run like 35 miles an hour. I run like 3.5 miles per hour.
Well, and can't they hold their breath for an extended period of time or something? So they're just chilling underwater like an alligator, and you could just be, floating in the water as the Wonton Don says, in hippo mode. And then couldn't they just come up like an alligator and just and eat you and kill you?
Inhale you and then basically drag you off. And then there's a video of a hippo that literally is chasing a boat and he's just like going down and like going down. And then like he's literally going like 30 miles per hour swimming. It's fucking terrifying.
How many people are killed by cows every year?
I feel like that's more of an operator error than the cows part. It's the mark of the whore. I thought you got kicked in the face by a Clydesdale.
According to Sentient Media, 20 to 22 people in the U.S. die from cows every year. In agriculture, tractors pose more of a danger than cows, accounting for 241 U.S. deaths per year.
Damn. I feel like it would be
I just thought maybe like cows or livestock or, whatever you want to call it, cows, I guess. I thought they'd be a little more dangerous.
I mean, I would rather be that the way I go than being the one of 4 people a year that die from a vending machine.
Yikes. Got to watch out for it. All right, we got to keep moving on, Matt. So I've been a Facebook Marketplace whore lately. I've been having a lot of trials and tribulations. Just really, really going through it all with Facebook Marketplace. And so I'm currently on a spending ban. Not allowing
a self-appointed spending ban.
Yes, yeah. I think I was telling that the other day when we were chatting, and somebody was just like, they thought that like Facebook banned me from using Marketplace, which honestly I'm not very far off. But I sent you a picture of something I found on Facebook Marketplace, and the first picture was a desert type landscape, alleyway, abandoned, It looked like Iraq. I'm just gonna go ahead and say
it looked like
Afghanistan.
if you took the little guy in Google Maps and you dropped him on a road in Afghanistan.
Yeah, that's what it looked like. And then the next two pictures were of, I can't even remember the item, but that was the next two pictures. I could probably find it really quick.
It was a weird item.
Okay, it was a leather chair for $350, and the first pic is definitely in an alleyway in Afghanistan or somewhere.
Oh my god.
So we'll have to pop that up on our socials. And then the other thing, somebody was selling an X-ray chart reader. You know, that light thing on the wall where you slap on the X-rays and then you do all your doctor talk. Somebody was selling an X-ray chart reader. Few questions.
Yeah, there's two schools of thought.
First question. If you buy this X-ray chart reader, do you have the capability of performing an X-ray? Second school of thought. Where are you putting this?
So I was thinking, it's like, how do you get this? Either a guy was like got sent to the hospital to get his stomach pumped from drinking so much, and he was like, I'm taking something as a souvenir, and just rips it off the wall. Or it was someone that got fired from working at a hospital thinking that it's worth a lot of money, so they were going to take it. And it turns out it's worth like $60 on Facebook Marketplace.
And I know those two schools of thought like come through our head, but just imagine the scenario where somebody's like, man, let's just say in their maybe they're putting on a play. And one of the sets is like a doctor's office, and they got a little bit of budget for this play. Let's just say that as a situation. Imagine being that person, being like, where am I going to get this X-ray chart reader? You know what? I'm just going to check Facebook Marketplace and just see what's out there. And then you come across the X-ray chart reader you've been looking for.
Yeah, it's a perfect scenario. Like, it's one thing because I know like set buyers, like if you're in California, you're in Vancouver, you're in like Toronto, New York, a place that like has a lot of set buyers, then maybe it makes sense. But it's like, what fucking movie is shooting in North Dakota? Be like, I need that.
I'm just saying, Facebook Marketplace connecting people with their items that they need. Like the gentleman earlier who was selling sports cards and was kind enough to include his identification in every picture. I don't think you're supposed to post your ID on the internet, but what do I know? Maybe it's a sales tactic I haven't heard of before.
So, okay. Let's say you want to use this X-ray machine reader.
Exactly.
You have to buy an X-ray machine.
And then on top of it, what are you X-raying? Like if your dog has a broken leg, you might want to take it to the vet. If your neighbor broke their ankle, I would suggest a hospital instead of your garage. And like, hey, get that folding table out. We gotta pop Linda's fucking ankle back in place.
So at the bare minimum to use this X-ray reader, you're paying $60 for that, and you're paying at a bare minimum, I just looked it up, $100,000 for an X-ray machine.
I mean, it's nice that the accessories don't cost very much to enter that market.
That's how they get you. I bought this X-ray reader on Facebook Marketplace thinking, I was going to get into the X-ray game, and then turns out everything else is way more expensive. They're being real dicks about it.
And it just seems like almost like a medicine cabinet, though, with like lights and some sort of magnetized thing. That's what a X-ray chart reader is to me. It's like, what do you DIY that into something? How do you parlay that?
And couldn't you just get a really strong flashlight to like look through the transparency?
That or like a window. Use a window.
A sunny window.
Yeah, you could.
A flame.
You could go to your doctor too.
Also a good option, like not a bad option.
I mean, as a man who has poor health insurance, by poor I mean none, maybe I should look into this X-ray chart
Just
reader.
start buying medical equipment.
Yeah.
You never know when you're going to need it. I need this anesthesia machine from 1995.
It's like you break your arm, you're like, sweet, this X-ray chart reader is going to come into place. Huge one problem, I need to get an X-ray first.
Even if you got the X-ray and your arm's broken, what are you going to do from that point?
Yeah, what arm are you going to use your non-broken arm to put the X-ray up to the chart reader?
No, but you need your second arm to clip it up there, so you might just be fucked.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on, Facebook Marketplace, you got to watch out for it.
We're getting into some overcook, undercook.
You undercook fish, believe it or not, jail. You overcook chicken, also jail. Undercook, overcook.
Okay, I have two. How many do you have?
I got one, so you'll hit me first.
Okay, kind of similar. So I saw this random article, scrolling the socials one day. We're simple humans. That's all we do. And people have started calling it co-sleeping when they're sharing a bed with their children. I think the article is about like how you can get your kid to finally like sleep on their own. Why are we calling it co-sleeping? And this is an overcook.
Overcook by a landslide. That shouldn't make me as mad as it does.
I just don't understand why we're calling it co-sleeping. Yeah.
Definite overcook.
Co-sleeping is definitely overcooked.
Unless you're an overbearing person, then
it's just called sleeping.
Yeah.
It's just called sleeping.
Yep.
We don't gotta add the co. David Allen.
I was co-eating. What does that mean? You had family dinner?
We had David Allen co-sleeping. Go with yours.
Okay. As you know, we were up at my mom's house, about to hit the sauna, and on her kitchen TV, she was watching Roadhouse.
Great film.
Unbelievable film.
And she made us turn it off right before he was about to grab his throat and rip it out.
Yeah, she was like, "What's this violence?" And it's like, you're the one that had Roadhouse on and didn't realize it.
I touched the remote when I got there. That was on.
They're making a remake with Jake Gyllenhaal. Mm-hmm. But I don't know, because where is Roadhouse set at? Is it Florida? Because the new one is Florida.
I don't know, Matt. We have this handy thing that has all the information at your fingertips.
But Jake Gyllenhaal played it, and it's different than the other one. So that's where I'm very close to it being a...
Dude, Julie Michaels. Hello.
Oh, yeah. The Roadhouse original cast, although it is like an 80s movie...
Still pretty good looking.
Every female in there. Woof.
Missouri.
Yeah, see, Missouri. This new one is Florida in the Keys. And the premise of it is Jake Gyllenhaal was a former UFC middleweight fighter. And then I don't know if you saw this, but they filmed.
Is that what they've been filming with him?
So they did it at an actual UFC weigh-in. Jake Gyllenhaal is jacked.
Yeah.
Like definitely on roids.
For sure.
And he goes and does the weigh-in, and then he like does the face off, and he like fake punches the guy, and the guy falls over. And then they actually did some in-ring stuff like in between some of the fights.
Gotta do it.
And I was like, I might be out of line here, but I might go overcook.
Like, you're excited about it?
Yeah, because although the old movie is fantastic, and I love the movie, might watch it after this if I'm being honest, the new movie's different enough where I think it could be sweet.
I'll disagree with you on that one. I'm just going to say undercooked, just with my general disliking towards sequels.
Or remakes, yeah.
Or remakes.
I get that.
Like, we're just like, do we not have any creative juices as humans?
Or go to the library and grab a book and make that into a movie. There's millions of books out there that they could do that.
I hate to burst your bubble. They made a sequel, Roadhouse 2, in 2006. So, yeah.
I'm actually going to watch that after this. So we'll see how that goes.
Right to jail, right away. You're driving too fast, jail. Slow, jail. You're charging too high prices for sweaters. glasses, you right to jail.
Straight to jail. So yeah, you a while back you said you're really into furniture, and as me being a Facebook Marketplace whore, I've also been getting into furniture lately, and I came across this term. We talked about co-sleeping a moment ago. Now I want to talk about people are calling futons convertible sofas.
Nope.
Overcook or undercook?
Oh, God.
I would say overcook. Like they're overthinking it.
Overthinking. Futon is...
A futon's a futon.
Futon's a futon, yeah.
It's not a convertible sofa.
A convertible sofa is like one that has a hideaway bed in it.
But the one they were advertising, it looked like a normal couch, and then the only thing was the backrest
laid down,
folded down.
That's a futon.
That's a futon.
If you take the cushions off and the bed comes out, that's convertible.
Yeah, you're actually it's like a transformer.
Yeah,
it was a couch, now it's a bed, but a futon.
That's false advertising.
Should I sue them?
Yes, we could. With our limited budget, we should sue them.
Well, I'm about to deplete the podcast bank account to hire a lawyer just for the consultation.
Well, if we won that $2 million, we'd have a team of lawyers.
Maybe we could trade him the X-ray chart reader, for some...
Maybe he needs it. Maybe he already has an X-ray machine. He's like, shit, I ran out of money.
Or maybe as a lawyer, he's getting X-rays, like as part of evidence. And he's like, I always have to hold these bastards up against the light. My neck hurts. They're always flinging around, making noise and shit. An X-ray chart reader could actually solve all my problems as we sue this company for false advertising for calling a futon a convertible sofa.
At that point,
am I understanding that correctly?
Maybe what they're going was it like a high end at least?
It was pretty nice. It was like a green leather.
See, that's just uppity rich assholes not wanting to say futon because they associate that with like
tacky,
with a college house or something. Futons might be up there with like one of the greatest inventions of all time.
I agree. I mean, the futon era is over in the podcast. We're on to a new era. However, futons still hold a special spot in my heart. So I wanted to give them some airtime this week. I'm going to go with overcook on that one. They just overthought it and just being absolutely ridiculous.
Yep. 100% agree.
And that's the end of our show, I think. I don't have anything else, man.
Nope. We can get out of here.
I'm dry heaving with ideas right now. Okay. I got nothing left.
Follow us on social media at MBNH Podcast, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. If you want to watch the entire episode, it's uploaded there. Next week, we'll be back with 154.
Patreon.
If you want
have that still? Is that still a thing?
If you want to become a patron, go to patreon.com/NBNH. $5 a month.
This is a freestyle off the top of the dome. Here we go. And I do it again. I do it only once. Again. I do it only once. I go down that river slow to the place I shoot like Carmelo. I'm living my life and we go hard, floating on the river in a party barge. And I see you on a sea dude. Your shirt was white and it was see-through. Please use your spray, no mosquitoes. Every time you found me, it's a free throw. Hey girl, why you calling me? I said, oh please don't bother me. I'm so sick of apologies. That's so damn